These electric scooters might be my favorites as of yet. Hey guys, I'm Ben from Tech, and today we're checking out the 0, 8, and 9 electric scooters. Both are very nice, very fun, and huge shout out to Rev Rides and Falcon PEV for sending me these two units. I've been riding these scoots for almost 3 months now, putting them through the paces. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, where I've been posting all the behind the scenes of my testings. Without further ado, let's jump right in. First, starting with the price tag, as this sort of sets the stage for keeping all the specs and features in context to the cost. The 08 is $800 USD. The 09 is $1,000 or $200 more. I'll cover more on pricing at the end and tell you which one I think is more bang for the buck, which one I personally would buy and why. Let's cover some of the major similarities between the two. They each come well packaged and protected with a charging brick, user manual, instructions for modifying controller settings, more on that in a second, and scooter setup, which is literally a breeze I appreciate. The only assembly setup is to use their hex and screw tool, which is conveniently included, by the way, very sweet, and tighten down the handbrake and throttle trigger with LCD dash. While we're here, that LCD is color display, very cool. It's pretty bright and can be seen in most lighting conditions. Here's some of the key features that I'll be focusing on today: design, portability, speed, suspension, braking, power and torque, distance, and battery. Starting with design, they both have that signature black, white, and red color theme with a modern and stealthy design. They both look really sleek and cool, well built. I love the headlights and brake LEDs built right into the design. Plus, those brakes blink when applying the brakes, which is a great safety feature. Speaking of LEDs, the 09 also has those large blue LED strips that glow bright and look sick, especially when riding at night. These two are awesome for safety and brighter visibility, but you can also see them even in the daytime, which will definitely turn some heads and grab a lot of attention. It's a simple touch, but adds some sweet flair and really sets you apart from so many other electric scooters out there. Even the kickstand is minimal, simple, but does the job well on both. It's not flimsy or cheap like others out there, and it holds up the scooter on most terrain. Both scooters have handle grips that fold down for transportation. They pop back up into place, then hand screw the locking sleeves to tighten down. The stem also raises and lowers for any rider height, reaches nice and tall up to 39 inches from deck to handlebars, good for any adult. The stem also folds down for transportation and nice portability. The 8 has a folding lever to unlock the steering column, which collapses and clicks into place. The 9 is similar, but instead press down on the folding lever to unlock and fold down the steering column. The weight of each scooter is about 40 pounds or 18 kilograms. It's light enough to pick up and carry up some stairs or place in the trunk of your car, but still heavy enough that I wouldn't want to carry it far distances. It'd be a good workout, but a little tiring. So overall portability, I like that it folds down and unfolds quickly and easily. I like that I can take it just about anywhere, whether for a means of green transportation or for a joyride, cruising the roads and ripping up the trails. Next, onto a big one is speed. Both these scooters have fantastic amount of speed under the hood. The 08 specs a 48 volt 500 watt 20 amp rear hub motor. The 9 specs a 48 volt 600 watt 25 amp rear hub motor. Both go fast, they really do, and honestly, probably fast enough for most average riders. As for specific top speeds, this always varies from rider weight, battery, terrain, and many other factors. However, the 8 is rated to peak around 20 to 22-ish miles per hour. I found that pretty accurate in my riding tests. I found after a fresh and full battery recharge on flat ground, I could average around 22 or 23-ish, maybe even some peaks of 24 or 25. I weigh about 150, and those are really good speeds. That's zippy and is plenty fast for most people. As for the 09 scooter, I was able to peak out even faster, which hands down is exhilarating, but as I always say, these are dangerous speeds, so please be careful, always wear a helmet. That sweet gray one is from Rock, huge shout out to those guys. On the 09, I was able to hit a max speed of 28 miles per hour. That's around 45 kilometers an hour. When you're flying around at those speeds, you really feel like you're gonna take flight. I honestly often don't hit those peak speeds. However, what I like to remind others, just because you don't want to hit those max speeds, it's always nice to have the capability of that power in the tires. Meaning, when you're cruising through the grass or ripping through the dirt and off-roading, or just climbing up hills and steep terrain, well, that power comes in handy and it'll effortlessly carry you through and up without a hitch, which is really nice to have. I've had other scooters in the past which say they're good for off-roading, but since the power or battery pack is a little weak, well, whenever you hit the all-terrain, it sort of slows down. It sort of struggles through the off-road. Not with these, and especially the 9, it rips through the grass and dirt. Now that sort of brings me to another feature, suspension. This is a key detail that's often not talked enough about. Whether you're cruising over city streets or sidewalk bumps or rough terrain, having a smooth and comfortable riding experience is really nice to have. Both the 08 and 9 feature front spring and rear hydraulic suspension systems. One key difference though, the 09 also has air inflatable tires on both the front and rear. The 8 has an inflatable front tire, but the rear hub motor is solid rubber. So those dual air tires on the 9 help it to absorb the bumps in the ride. It also comes out of the box very soft and bouncy suspension. It's loose, and honestly, this is my go-to when I want to go flying off-road. The 9 offers a very impressive, fun, and smooth riding experience. On to the next big feature, braking. This is another area of subtle but key difference between the 8 and the 9 model. They both feature regenerative electric motor braking, which can be adjusted in the menu settings, very sweet. They also both have mechanical brakes, however the 8 has one in the rear, the 9 has two, one in the back and a second additional front disc brake. I've been flying around fast speeds on both scooters. You shift the weight backwards, hit the brakes hard, and they both stop fast. Of course, having two sets of brakes on the 9, well, that's going to help with braking reliability and shorter braking distance. Up next is power and torque. I sort of already covered a bit on this in the speed section, but to touch on it a little bit more. Under the controller settings, there's a section to cycle through the soft to high acceleration curve. 1 is soft start, 5 is high torque.